Well, hello, boys and girls. It's your favourite grumpy granny from Grogy's Patch back again. And guess what? I'm excited today. Yes, I am. Because I have discovered a super nugget. And what is that super nugget, you may ask? Well, it all started in my Discord. We created a new section where people can post things that we call NOLOs. What is a NOLO? A NOLO is not on the lookout for. Because you have BOLOs, which is be on the lookout. Well, a NOLO is a not on the lookout. And sometimes it's as hard to find what things not to look out for as it is to find things that you should look out for. So, when we created this section in the Discord, I then thought, well, I'm just going to go, just for fun, I'm going to go on Terapeak and I am going to see what I can find are the oldest items there. So I did this little search. And not only did I discover things that hadn't sold, I discovered, it was like an epiphany. I discovered things, I discovered why they hadn't sold. It was staring me right in the face. And I thought, wow, people should actually do this for all the categories of things that they are selling on eBay. So they can see what not to do, why things don't sell, and what items don't sell. So I'm actually going to show you how to do that little search. How about that? Are you as excited as I am? Whoa. All right. Let me just get everything set up and we will get into it. So, how do we do it? So we're going to, on your main, if you've never been or used Terapeak before, so on your Seller Hub, you will go scroll down a little bit and you'll find a section somewhere. It might not be over here. It could be down here or somewhere there because I've swapped a few of my things around. But go here to where it says research and this top one which says optimize your listings with Terapeak Insights. So we're going to click on that. And this is going to bring you into Terapeak. Now, normally when you go into Terapeak, the standard way it's set up is the last time you used it. But if you haven't used it before, it will tell you what's happened in the last 90 days. Terapeak essentially will tell you what has sold when you do a search. Now, there's a couple of things about Terapeak because over here you'll see it says ebay.com.au. You can actually change that to any of the other eBay sites, okay? America, Canada, I don't know where the rest of them are, but, all over the world. So mine's set on Australia, okay? So wherever you are in the world, it'll be set on yours. But if you sell predominantly, say you're in Australia, but you predominantly sell to America, perhaps do that search on the American site, this search on the American site. I think would be the way to go. But let's start. So the first thing we want to do, though, because we're not going to be looking for things that are going to be selling, we're looking for things that aren't selling. So the first thing we need to do is where it has last 90 days, we're going to change that, and we're going to change it to the last 3 years, which is the longest length of time. Now, really, you would think to yourself, well, there shouldn't be stuff still on there that old. Well, there is. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to search for books. So I'm just going to search for book because that's what I sell. Okay. Now, you'll notice when you do a search, it'll ask you for different categories. I've got that set on all categories, but really, I just want to know what's in my category, which is this one here. Okay. So I'm just going to click on there and then apply. But if you predominantly sell adult learning books that are in the university section, go into there. Now, you'll see, just for your own information, for a bit of fun, this is sold. And it's telling you what is sold between now and 3 years ago. And it's showing you, how 1,509,211 books have sold, blah, 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 blah. So that's a lot. But we don't want to see what has sold. We want to see what hasn't sold. So we're going to go to here and we're going to click on active. What that does is actually bring up the listings that are still active on the platform. Now, The other thing we want to do is you want to find out the oldest things that are on the platform. Okay, so go over here to where it says start date. And because this may be searching by, you can change the order of how you want this to appear. It might be sorting by price. It might be sorting by watches, by promoted listings, etc., etc. But we want it so it's giving us the oldest one. So when you first click on it, it's going to give you the newest ones, right? We're going to click it again. And now it's going to bring up the oldest ones. And so you can see it's showing us things that are still listed from back in 2007. Oh my goodness. So let's have a look at what is active. Now look at this first one and just look at the title, how that's come up. So you'll see it's got Angel Blue, which is the name of the book, but then it's got the A with the little, roof over it, which is, showing that's a bit weird, isn't it? Now, if you actually go into that listing, which all you have to do is click on it and go into that listing, and I'm not going to do that just right now, but you'll actually see that listing. These, when they come up, are actually dashes, but somehow the search isn't recognizing them as dashes. So I would think that is a problem for searching. So I'm going to say, don't use dashes in your titles. I don't think. Might be a good idea. Now, it's not just going to be, in this category, it's not just going to be the title and the, or the author of the books as to why these aren't selling. There are other things. Just have a look at them. And like, some of these are priced down to $3.01. So it's not price that's stopping them from selling because they're so cheap. And even the postage is less than, regular postage price. But there are other things about these listings as to why they're perhaps not selling. Yes, it may be an unpopular book or it may be the title. Now, this one, for example, this person has got it listed with the author's name first and then the title of the book. How do buyers search for books? They search by the title of the book and then by the author's name. So if you're looking for Mahogany Trinrose and you search for it, it'll come up right down the bottom because it's all back the front. And look at these photos. Dreadful. This one, the photos are completely missing. If you scroll down and keep scrolling down this page, you're going to see more of these little A's. And there's probably a name for them, and I should have looked it up, but I didn't. So they're the foreign language ones. So you'll see there's more of them. A lot of these books, as you scroll down, have the same. Here's another one. And as I said, when you actually open that up, it actually comes up as a dash because I did it the other night. And if you don't believe me, try it yourself. So that's a big reason why these things aren't coming up in search, because the search is getting as far as that dash and then it's stopping. And you'll see even the ones where it's recognized the dash, like, look how many there are. Look how many there are of these in here that have got dashes in them. Now, other things, if you look at these ones, well, as I said, the photos are missing out of here, which wouldn't be helping. And this person has typed it all in capital letters, which the search doesn't overly like that either. So not only is this telling me what books haven't sold, this is also telling me why they haven't sold. And if you look at the photos, and honestly, I'm going to open one of these up because I'm not sure. Let me have a look. Because I'm not sure if that is going to take me into that window. No. So just bear with me while I swap the windows. Right, we're back again. Now, I'm just got to bring this up so I can actually see it better. So this is the listing that I've gone into. Now, there's a couple of things in here. Now, this is one of the ones that I clicked on that had that little weird A. And as you can see, they've come up as dashes. So to me, that's a big red flag. Couple of other things. This is not the greatest photo. I'm going to say that's probably a stock photo. And by the look of the quality of the photo, I'm going to suggest that it has probably been clipped or snipped or whatever from doing a Google search for that book. It's probably not even a photo of the book it's probably not even a photo of the book this person is selling, is what I'm trying to say, because that is the crappiest photo. And the other thing is, there is only one photo. That's it. That's all you get. So to me, that's a big red nugget. I mean, red nugget. That is a red flag. The fact that there is only the one picture. And if we scroll down. So here are the item specifics that they've put in. Like, honestly, you couldn't do any better than putting the author, the language, paperback, and book title, basically. And then they've actually cut and pasted a bit of a synopsis there. And then they go on to say, oh, if you purchase 3 or more books, blah, 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 blah. Which is, that's all fine and well, but you've got books that have been sitting here for like 6 years. Honestly. It is, isn't it? Because 2023, and that's 2007. That's even longer. That's even longer than I was thinking. That's 2007. Like, what the heck? So let's have a look also. If you go into one of these old listings, you can actually see if they've ever made any revisions or changes to the listing. So have they just posted it and left it there, sit there since 2007? So you can actually go in here. It does say last updated 16th of June 2021. Well, even that's 2 years ago. But if we go in here, we can see the revisions. So you can see the latest change they made. They changed the postage terms, details, changed returns accepted to return a different policy. But they changed it to shipping will be paid by the buyer, must be returned within 7 days, blah, 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 blah. Here they changed the postage terms, and the rest of them are mostly they've changed the price, which I'm going to suggest is that they have reduced the price. And so you can just keep scrolling down. They made another change in 2016. The rest of it had just been the sale price. Keep going down, 2018. So you can see when they made changes, or the most recent changes anyway. Right. So let's go back to the item. So yeah, the flags are just, all over the place, because it's not the price. It's only $5. It's no photos. It's the title. Yeah, it's just bad, isn't it? All right, let me just get out of here. Oh, sorry, my mouse is a bit sticky today. Right, we're back. Because what I want to do, so that was books, and that gave me a fairly good idea of some of the things. Now, look, if you're scrolling down and if you really want to get into it, if you scroll down there and there are a lot of the same book, then you've really got to ask questions, haven't you? Like, why is there lots of that same book? Excuse me a minute. Now, so we've done it with that. So let's try a different category, shall we? So we will go and share. Hang on. Go and share the screen again. And we will go back to the Terapeak page. Here. Yes, we're on the right page. And let's go back up and let's try a different category. So we just need to change what we're searching for. So what will we search for? What else? Let's search for shirts. We'll do men's shirts just for the hell of it. Men's shirts. So you can see here all the different categories. So do we want to look at T-shirts, casual shirts, dress shirts, polos? So let's have a look at polos. Now, everything's all still set up the same. So it's still searching the actives. It's searching the last 3 years. And we're going to go down here. And again, this shirt was listed in 2007. And it's a Jim Beam men's grey printed short sleeve polo, size small. Probably not a very good size for a start. And you'll see the next one is from 2019, which is a Playboy men's white chinchilla printed polo, which is size XL. All right, so these ones here are new ones. So you wouldn't count that because that's probably a company that is just fulfilling. They've got the one listing up and they just keep restocking it. So what we can do is actually go up here to where it says condition filter. And we're going to go here and go pre-owned and apply. Because that will mean that it will actually show us only the used stuff that's been sitting here. So this isn't as bad as the book. So the oldest one here is 2016. So we've got this Nike slim fit polo shirt here. And I mean, even looking at these little pictures, which I think if I click on, yes, they'll come up. So even doing that, you can see. So it's not the world's greatest photo, is it? Just on the dirty tile floor. Like, look at the colour of that grout. Terrible, terrible. And apart from that, like the shirt doesn't fill in the photo, which is another thing. Let's have a look at this one. How dark is that photo? Like, it's probably not a bad photo, but it's very dark, which is probably why. And perhaps because it's a white shirt, people don't like that. Interestingly, though, this says Nike. This says Nike. So that is very interesting to note, isn't it? And then if we keep scrolling down, some of these other older ones are US Polo Association, US Polo Association. Now, maybe these ones it's because of the price, because they are priced up fairly high. But you have to wonder when there are a couple of the same brand in this search initially. So let's keep scrolling down. And the other thing is, I mean, we're not going right into the listing, of course, to see, but, you know, it could be the background, the fact that these are on brick here, as you can see. You know, I mean, that's not the greatest first shot, is it? You should have something of most of the shirt. And you'll see here that a lot of these ones here that haven't sold are perhaps something to do with the fact that they're not showing the full shirt. But also look at the titles. And I meant to bring that up when we were looking at the books, because a lot of the books that hadn't sold had just the title and the author written in it, nothing else. And the same here. These have got about the shirt, and then they've basically got the brand, casual shirt, large. Now, these are in the wrong category because this is not a polo shirt. And they've put it in there because it says polo, but it's not actually a polo shirt, even though it's by the US Polo Association. So that's actually sitting there and in the wrong category. So, you know, you can find these things just by looking and scrolling down this. And so that's what I found very interesting, because there's another one. That's not strictly that's not a polo shirt either. And that's a Billabong one, which probably should have sold. So it's quite eye-opening to go down and just look at these things and see, well, why didn't that sell? Like, look at the title, Tommy Hilfiger men's polo. No size, nothing else. If someone was searching for short sleeve polo, it's not going to come up in their search because this does not have short sleeve written in it. Like, wouldn't you have casual short sleeve polo, if nothing else, and the size? Like, I don't get it. I'm going to suggest that this one is perhaps for price because it's $51.41. Same with this Hugo Boss one. Let's have a look at this polo one. Now, that is a polo shirt and it's a G-Star one. I'm going to say it's probably got to do with these dashes and the percentage signs and all that sort of stuff is not helping. Plus, it's $51.45. Like, that's, to me, that's a very, very high price. And we'll have a look at this Hugo Boss one, which again is a polo shirt, but a long sleeve one. So maybe the long sleeve ones don't sell very well. Who knows? Maybe people don't like the Hugo Boss. But again, if you look, it's got these, a lot of these ones in here have got these percentage symbols in them. Is that stopping the search from working properly? Don't know. You know, it is probably a lot to do with the price. And if you have a look here too, the postage is really high on these. Like the postage for this one is $16.23 for a bloody polo shirt, which would only cost $10.70 full price. So they're really, you know, look at it. Yeah, you're just looking at the things. A rod and gun stuff sells quite well. Is it the photo? Yeah, the photo's terrible. It's dark. You can't really see the shirt. Number one. Possibly if we go into the listing, there may only be one photo in there or two. No size here. You know, the postage is $14.50 for a shirt, for a polo shirt. The price on the shirt itself isn't bad, but who wants to pay $14.51 when you can probably find another one on eBay with decent postage? I mean, this one's got free postage for a start. So it's really interesting to go down and have a look at these things. And a lot of it, yes, a lot of it is to do with these bad photos. And I'm going to say they're the same tiles as up in the first one. So that seller, you know, probably really needs to look at their photos because apparently, you know, their stuff isn't selling. And that's the other thing I did with the books. I had a look because a lot of them seem to be, the titles seem to be written the same way. So I actually went in there and let me stop sharing for a sec. I actually went in there and looked at those ones and they were all from the same store. So you'd really have to stop and think, if you've got stuff that's been listed for that long, why haven't you taken it down and gotten rid of it? Like, honestly. But yeah, it's quite eye-opening, I felt. So that is my little gold nugget that I'm giving you all to do a NOLO Terapeak search. Now, just bear with me, boys and girls, and I will show you something that's sold. So here we go. This is a really good book, and this just sold this morning, so it's very fresh. So I'm just going to go over there and show you. Get the right page here. So I only listed this book at the very end of October, and it's called The Way of a Transgressor by Negley Farson. Great artwork on the cover, don't you think? Now, this is just one of these little book club ones, but there's a couple of things about this book. And there were a lot of others of this book that were listed a lot cheaper than mine on eBay. But there's a couple of things. This one has actually been protected by one of those nice vinyl covers. And so the dust jacket on this is in absolute great condition underneath there. I'd say that vinyl cover's, given the discoloration on it, it's been on there for quite a while. So not only has it protected the dust jacket, it's also protected the book. Like, actually look at the colour of that. Now, the pages are quite foxed, which is the discoloration that you can see. So there is a lot of discoloration there. This is from 1940. And as you can see, there's a lot of, you know, discoloration around there. Now, as I said, there were others of this book listed a lot cheaper than mine, but, you know, this was a good book. The cover, the cloth boards were in great condition. And my cat's meowing. Cloth boards were in great condition, and the dust jacket was in fantastic condition. So I listed this for $29.90 or $95, I think. And that is what it sold for. So I will just go and... this swapping of screens, there's got to be a better way. I'm going to look into it, boys and girls, because swapping all the time is a pain in my butt. All right, sharing this. Okay, so here we go. Here's the details. It's actually a biography. I picked this book up for $2 in a neighbouring town at a little secondhand shop. and listed it on the 24th of October, which that's for the age of that book, 1940, and being a biography, that's actually sold relatively quickly, really. So yes, I had it listed for $29.90 plus post, of course, $11.50, which gives me $41.40. And then the transaction fees were $5.75 and promotion fees were $2.96, which gave me revenue of $32.69. So by the time, I haven't actually done the post on this one yet, so I don't know whether it'll be rural or metro. So, but look, worst case scenario, the postage is going to be $10.07. So roughly I'll come out of that with $22. So to turn $2 into $22 is pretty damn good, I'm going to say. Pretty damn good indeed. So there we go. Well, I'm going to put the Christmas decorations back on. Because I took them off because I realised it was quite distracting for seeing, being able to see everything on the screen. Anyway, so I hope my NOLO search is a gold nugget for you. I hope that you try it. At least try it in one category and see if you learn anything. If you don't learn anything, well, don't use it again. But I can't see how anyone that does that search wouldn't learn something about their category. And so, I mean, I could sit here and do NOLO search after NOLO search on Terapeak because there's so many categories, even with the categories that I sell in. It would be really interesting to do it on each of those. And I am going to be doing that over time. But, go in and do it yourself and see what you learn. Like, blurry photos, dark photos, one photo only, no measurements, no sizes. This the dashes, the percentage signs, they're all things I think we should be looking out for. And they're the things you can pick up if you go and do your own NOLO search. So tonight, 8:30 in the Discord, we'll be having a book group number 2. We need to probably come up with a better name than book group, don't you think? Oh, well, book club in Gigi's Discord is tonight, 8:30. We'll be doing a bit of a round robin, I thought. So we're going to get everybody in and get everyone to say hello. And you don't have to come on the video if you don't want to, but it would be nice if you did so that we can actually see your nice face and say hello. And just let's find out what it is about books. So what sort of books you sell, and what's your area of expertise when it comes to books? Because that way we can start, sharing a bit of knowledge. All right, boys and girls, I will see you tonight in the Discord, and then I will see you on YouTube tomorrow. Oh, stop. Well, so something funny happened on Friday night. Something very strange. And I put my phone on silent, and suddenly it's popped back up and it's sending me messages. But anyway, let's ignore that. Something very strange happened to me Friday night in my live stream. It went berserk. Oh, if you ever want to see something funny, go and watch it, even if you only watch the last half. Because what happened there with people becoming members of my channel, which I can now do, and people giving me super stickers, and shout out Shane from Soda City Flips. He gave me my first huge big super sticker during the live stream. And once he did that, it just went nuts. Adam, books along with stuff, he actually gifted, I think in the end, 15 memberships. Look, the memberships are $1.49. It's pretty much just a token thank you membership. I mean, it's nice because now I've got 39 members in my YouTube channel group. And that's like I can't believe it. I'm so stoked, and I want to thank everybody. I really do. I want to thank you all. I do have a special thanks for Octo because he was my first member. He was the first one that joined up. So that was really nice. And Blake has joined up too. So that's really nice too. And like so many of you joined up. And I am going to, because this is already 30 minutes, which is quite long. So I think tomorrow, maybe I'll have a shorter little video. We might even do another NOLO search, and then I can do some shout outs to all my new members. Exciting times. Well, it is exciting for me. And yeah, thank you. Look, you made me feel very humbled and very, I I was elated, honestly. I feel supported. I feel like you all appreciate what I do. And yeah, thank you, thank you, thank you. I will see you tomorrow.